These are the 6.4 notes for Algebra 2. We're talking today about exponential growth and decay. So growth means something is getting larger. Therefore, if you look at this formula, it has a plus sign in the middle. Compared to the decay, which means something is getting smaller, notice you have a minus sign in the middle. Other than that, the equations are exactly the same. So let's talk about what each of the variables means. The letter y in each equation represents the ending amount. A represents the starting amount. R represents the rate. And this one has to be as a decimal, not as a percent. So we'll have to each problem change that over from a percent to a decimal. And X represents time. All right, let's look at the first problem. In 2000, the cost of tuition at IUPUI was $4,300. Each year, the cost of tuition increases. So there's your word increase, so you know you're going to be using the equation with a plus, the exponential growth. It increases by 3%. Find the cost of tuition today. So let's set this up. We have y equals, because I don't know the ending amount. Then we have the starting amount, which is $4,300. A parenthesis. Always the number 1 right there. Plus, because it's growth. And we're going to take our 3%, and we're going to move the decimal over twice. So 3%, the decimal is right here at the end. So when we move it over once, twice, it becomes 0.03. And then your exponent, how much time has passed between the year 2000 and this year? That would be 22. Then we type it into our calculators. So I'll type the first one into the calculator with you so you can see exactly how it works. Remember, you have your calculator on your Chromebook. If it's not located right here, go over to this circle button right here, click on it, hit this up button right here, and you'll be able to find it. If it's not on the first page, go to the second page, and here it is. That's what you're looking for. Once you click on it, it'll ask you to sign in using Google. Just use your normal school account. And then you'll pop up a calculator that looks just like this one, just like the ones we use in class. Okay, let's type this in. 4,300 parentheses 1 plus 0.03, close the parenthesis. Your exponent button is this one right here. And type in how many years has passed, 22. Right. Now, because we are talking about money, we do want to go out to 2 decimal places. So 2, 4. The next number is a 4, which means I'll keep this as a 24 and not bump it up to a 25.25. So $8,239.24. There we go. All right, example 2. Population of Winnemucca, Nevada in 2008 was 6,191 people. It's going to be our starting amount. Each year, the population is expected to increase, so another plus sign, by 5.5%. So we're going to take our 5.5%, and we're going to move the decimal over once, twice. So that becomes 0.055. What will the population of this small town be in the year 2025? So we have to figure out how far it is from 2008 to 2025. In order to do that, you would subtract 2025 minus 2008. And that's what would give you 17 years. Again, 2025 minus 2008. Type this into the calculator. 6,191, parentheses 1 plus 0.055. Close the parenthesis and then raise it to the exponent of 17. All right, since we're talking about people on this problem, we don't really do decimals of people. So we're going to round to the nearest whole number. 15,383. Check out this next number. It's a 4. Too small for us to bump up that 3 to the next number. So we'll leave it 15,383. And then if you want to say people, you're more than welcome. There we go. All right, now let's move on to decay. A new Ford Focus costs $23,000. The value of the car decreases. That's what tells you you're going to be using the subtraction sign. Decreases by 15% every year. How much will the car be worth in 5 years? So we'll put our starting amount in right here. 1 minus for the decreases. 15%. 15 normally looks like this with a decimal at the end. Then you can move it over once, twice. So you end up with 0.15. And the number of years would be 5 years. Go ahead and try typing that into your calculator. You should round that to $10,205.22. There we go. Example number 4. Mountain Dew has 120 milligrams of caffeine. Each hour after you drink it, the amount of caffeine in your system decreases by about 8.5%. How much caffeine is in your system after 2 hours? This one specifically tells us how to round. So the nearest whole milligram, so the nearest whole number. All right, let's set it up. How much do we have at the beginning? 120 milligrams of caffeine right at the beginning after you drink the Mountain Dew. 1 minus for decreases. 8.5, move the decimal over once, twice. 0.085. And they want to know after 2 hours. So grab your calculator, type it in, and round to the nearest whole number. Right? You should be getting 100 after you round it, 100 milligrams. All right, example number 5 and 6 ask us to determine whether a problem is growth or decay and then solve it. So let's look at example number 5. Your older sibling bought a used car for $5,500 in 2009. Since then, the value of the car has been depreciating. Depreciating is a term that means getting less expensive. The value is going down, so that's going to be a minus. Decreasing at a rate of 12% per year. How much is the car worth today? All right, here we go. Y equals 5,500. 1 minus 12%. Decimal's always at the end of that. Move it over once, twice. 0.12. From 2009 to today, 2022. So do 2022 minus 2009. It's going to get us 13 years. Type that into your calculator. should be getting $1,043.85. Notice that the value has gone down. Your older sibling first paid $5,500. Now it's only worth $1,043.85. All right, let's look at the next problem. Your grandfather bought a 67 Ford Mustang in 1967. Since then, the value of the car has been appreciating, which means it's going up in value at the rate of 8% per year. He paid $2,000 for the car. It's appreciating 8%, 0.08. From 1967 until today, that is 2022 minus 1967, gets us 55 years. Type that into the calculator. I'll go ahead and type this one in for you just so you can see in case you're stuck on how to do it. You would do 2001 plus 0.08 exponent 55. Since it's talking about money, we want to round to 2 decimal places. In other words, the nearest hundredth place, 2 decimal places. $137,827.71. So it's interesting on these two problems. On example number 5, the value of the car is actually going down. And then the value of the car on problem number 6 is actually going up. Any reason why that would be? Why is this 67 Mustang getting more expensive, but this 2009 car getting less expensive? Hopefully you're thinking that the 67 Ford Mustang is more of a collectible item, an antique. So because those are so rare, the value of those cars would be going up. All right. The last one is a little bit different. Last 2 problems are just a little bit different. Here we're going to be solving for the initial value or the starting amount. So solving for the starting value, which is going to be, we're trying to find our A. After remodeling, the value of a house increases at a rate of 0.05 per year. Notice they gave this to us as a decimal already. We'll just go ahead and type that in. After 5 years, the building is worth $98,304. How much did you originally pay for the house? So this time, this $98,000 is the ending amount. It's the Y value. Then the A, the starting amount, is what we don't know. 1 increasing means plus 0.05. 5 years would be our time. And so then what we'll need to do is we'll need to type this parenthesis 1 plus 0.05 exponent of 5 into our calculators. Parentheses 1 plus 0.05 exponent of 5. 1.276, etc. Let's go ahead and write that down on our paper. I'm going to bring down the 98,000. And I'm going to type my decimal that I got. And I'm not going to round that. I'm just going to wait until the end to round it. I'm going to divide that out. So that way those cancel. And I'm going to show you on your calculator how you can not have to type that problem in again. So what we have, the last thing we have on our calculator is the answer that we got. And we know we have to do 98,304 divided by that answer. So if you're feeling lazy, like not typing in that whole decimal, there is a button on your calculator that copy pastes the last line into the problem. It's called answer button, and it's located down here at the bottom right, where you see this negative button right next to the enter at the bottom right. In light blue, it says ANS. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the second button. So this button right here, and notice you have that up arrow now. That means the light blue is activated, the second is activated. We'll come down here and just hit this button. So that tells the calculator, I want you to take 98,304 and divide it by this number. That way it saves us the time of having to type that out again. All right, $77,023.76. There we go. All right, the next one, the cost of a car stereo system depreciates, goes down in value. If it's worth $660 right now, we don't know how much it was to begin with. It is depreciating 5%, 0.05, and 3 years ago. So we'll type this parenthesis exponent into the calculator. And when we type that in, I get a decimal. I did it off to the side this time instead of on the actual screen. Hopefully you're following along though. I got that. Then I want to get a by itself, so I divide by that decimal. Again, in your calculator, you could use the answer button. Those cancel. You take 660 divided by 0.857375. Round to 2 decimal places because we are talking about money still. $769.79.